Have you ever wondered why some individuals who identify with socialist ideals are actively involved in political systems and economic structures that are fundamentally capitalist? It might seem like a contradiction, but there is a clear and well-defined theoretical basis for this approach. Many socialists choose to work within capitalist frameworks primarily as a strategic approach to achieve their goals through gradual, evolutionary change, rather than revolutionary overthrow. This approach is often associated with what is known as evolutionary socialism or revisionism, aiming to transform society incrementally from within the existing system. This is not about abandoning socialist principles, but about finding a practical pathway to them. The core reason behind this strategy stems from a belief that capitalism is not an immovable, monolithic system, but one that can be reformed and adapted. Instead of advocating for a sudden, violent revolution to dismantle capitalism entirely, proponents of evolutionary socialism believe that significant progress can be made by engaging with and reshaping existing institutions. A key figure in developing this idea was Eduard Bernstein, a German social democrat at the turn of the 20th century. Bernstein argued that capitalism was not inevitably collapsing, as Karl Marx had predicted, and that working-class conditions were improving in many areas. This led him to conclude that socialists should focus on practical reforms and democratic action to achieve social justice, rather than waiting for a revolutionary crisis. This perspective emphasizes the importance of democratic processes. Socialists operating within capitalist frameworks often participate in parliamentary elections, from political parties, and engage in public discourse to advocate for their policies. They seek to use the mechanisms of democracy to gradually introduce socialist principles, such as expanding public services, strengthening workers' rights, and regulating industries for the common good. The idea is to build a more equitable society piece by piece, leveraging the power of collective action and policy adjustments within the established order. It is about building a broad consensus for change, rather than forcing it through. Practically, this means advocating for policies that might seem familiar even in predominantly capitalist countries. For example, promoting universal health care, advocating for a living wage, supporting strong labor unions, and pushing for greater public control over essential services like utilities or transportation. These are not seen as ends in themselves, but as stepping stones towards a more fundamentally socialist society. They representing tangible improvements in people's lives while also shifting the balance of power from capital to labor and the community. This pragmatic approach seeks to demonstrate the benefits of socialist ideas through their practical application. An interesting aspect of this strategy is the concept of non-reformist reforms. These are changes that not only improve conditions for people within the existing system but also fundamentally challenge the underlying logic of capitalism itself. For instance, creating worker cooperatives or pushing for stronger environmental regulations can both provide immediate benefits and begin to redefine economic power relationships. This approach often blurs the lines between what some call democratic socialism and social democracy, with the latter often focusing more on welfare state provisions within a largely capitalist market economy. Many socialists engaging in this work see themselves as pushing beyond social democracy towards more fundamental change. Ultimately, the decision to work within capitalist frameworks is a strategic one, born from the conviction that a better, more equitable society can be built through persistent, democratic effort. By engaging in political processes, advocating for significant social and economic reforms, and gradually shifting public consciousness, these socialists aim to demonstrate that systemic change is possible without revolutionary upheaval. It is a path that seeks to improve lives immediately while steadily progressing towards a long-term vision of social ownership and economic justice, ensuring that progress is both meaningful and sustainable.